Yo, what's up, my people? You guys are watching a new segment that we put together called Rockers Reaction. My name is Ralph Busso,
My
and
name is Cody Walker.
yes, Cody Walker, my brother, my partner in crime. We are doing a special segment with a very real rock star, Patrick Kennison, who was originally in the band The Union Underground and then went on to all kinds of, and those guys were platinum. They went platinum, just so you know. Okay. This guy's legit. Okay. We're not fucking around here. And then he went on to work with Lita Ford and form another band that is very legit, Heaven Below. Patrick, what's up, my brother?
Hey, doing good. Out here in LA, back home for a little bit. Just got off the road. Happy to be back in it again.
Dude, I'm glad you decided to do this with us, man. It was cool. We came up with the reaction idea a little while ago, and as we were progressing it, we were trying to think of people like who were really in the know, who, you know, dude, you've been around long enough and have done
Then
enough.
why'd you get me then? If you
I knew you were gonna say some shit like that, dude. That's why I was jumping in on it quick. No, but
Patrick
really,
is a very humble, very cool guy, guys.
well, and that's
So-
another reason why we wanted you to do this with us, because your knowledge in
Yeah.
music is substantial. Your history is substantial. You know the business well. So what we wanted to do with the show is there's a tons of fucking reaction video shows out there, and we wanted to do something different because our stuff is about helping musicians promote and do stuff like that. So rather than just say, oh, look, it's cool, or oh, this sounded good. No. We want to talk about why it's cool, or from a perspective of give somebody from the perspective in the industry why it works.
You're putting some knowledge behind it.
Some knowledge. We're laying. So buckle in, people.
As I drink a Truly.
As you drink, it's truly, it's knowledge. So yeah, that's why we wanted you on, brother. So thank you for coming on with us, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoy what we're gonna bring you. Let's get into our first band, shall we? Our first band, ladies and gentlemen, is a band that has just started relatively recently. They started in 2018. It is a band known as Fate Destroyed. Are we familiar with this at all?
Heard the name before.
Heard the
I know
name?
the name for sure. I bet you we know some of the members too.
Yes.
Well, yes, they started in
Absolutely.
2018 by their singer Francesca Destruct. Badass name, by the way. But the one thing that caught my eyes recently from them was they just kept popping up in our radar. At least with me and Ralph, we've been pushing the podcast and stuff, and all the way from our friend Scummy out here in LA. We've been talking to our friend David in Las Vegas. I've heard their name around from people I know in Arizona. They're just starting to pop up more and more.
Yeah, Scummy just played with them.
Oh, he did. That's right, didn't he?
He just did a show.
I forgot about that. So yeah, and then when I looked them up, they just finished. They just got done being on the road. They finished up an entire tour this October. So they're pushing, man. And that's what the point of this show is too. We want to find bands that are obviously they're in, but also we want to find bands that are pushing and trying to make a name and
That are really active, that don't just have an 8x10 and some weird filtered thing on them. Like
exactly.
active band.
Active fucking bands. That's it. That's it right there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you got to be pushing. That's what we think.
Yep.
And I think this band is perfect for it because, they're pushing strong. I did the math and it already escapes me, but I want to say they released 4 videos in the last year.
That's active.
That's a fuck ton of work. I mean, that's a fuck ton of work. And the most recent video was released, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I don't really remember, but it's a song called Death Signs. Death Signs, and that's what we're going to watch today.
Maybe there, and to be honest with you, well, before we go into it, I'll say I think it may be their best work. So
Yeah.
just going in, spoiler.
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
Spoiler alert.
Well, yeah, and in
Yeah.
this case, I mean, we're going to do more reactions to it, but it's not a lot of it's going to be like blind reactions. Like we're going to do a little deep dive on the band and really push because these people deserve it. I mean, Francesca and this entire band, and we'll give a shout out to all of them. They're working it. They're pushing hard.
Roger, Johnny, and Cameron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. One
Oh.
thing I noticed, we'll get into this. I noticed if you look on the list of their lineup, there's no bass player, just 2 guitar players and a drummer.
That's worked in the past with a few other projects that I've seen. It's a tough one, but it works.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, Patrick? Real quick. I don't want to pull too much of a side note, but I know you've been in this business deep for a long
It depends
time.
it depends on the band. I saw the White Stripes play, and I thought, oh wow, no bass player. Okay, maybe Jack White's gonna have his left hand's gonna play it on the keyboard or synthesizer, or maybe the guitar's gonna have a low tuned string. He didn't have either one of those things, and about halfway through the White Stripes set, I was like, man, this is lacking the nuts and the sub-harmonic beautifulness that is bass. And I was disappointed with it. I don't care how many records the White Stripes sold. The live show without a bass player.
Yeah, I could see that.
Then you go to a band like, I remember this band called Gravity Kills, I think they were called.
Yes.
That sounds
I remember
familiar.
them.
Around the time of Stabbing Westward, maybe. They had, I don't remember them having a bass player, but the synth player played all the low sub with his left hand on the synthesizer. Totally worked. It was badass live. Full hitting your chest when it goes down to the low notes. So I think it's about sonic quality. I think White Stripes failed, and I think Gravity Kills succeeded. And how funny the album sales of the two bands are very different.
You're absolutely right.
Now,
dude. It's
so Patrick,
funny.
you don't think there needs to be a bass player or any instrument on stage as long as it's present in the mix and doing things?
It doesn't mean that backing track or a sequence is okay. It just solely depends on the band. A band like Julian K or something with cool atmospheric synthy sounds can do something like that. A band like the White Stripes, I keep picking on them because they're popular. They have organic quality and they lose out on sonic greatness. So fuck record sales. I'm just saying what my ear and heart can feel and hear.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
And I think honestly, we'll get into it pretty quickly, but I think that I think Fate Destroyed falls into the low tuning portion of bands that you were talking about.
I remember Dave Draymond's band Device did the same thing.
Mhm.
I think it was a trio and it had synthesizer, low end, full sub bass, you
That's
know,
right.
and you
That's
looked
right.
at it and go, where's the bass player? But you heard it live and it was full as fuck. So go figure.
Well, and that was an issue
Yeah.
Ralph and I had in the past when we were doing Serpent. We were tuned to low A. In fact, I believe this band is tuned to the low A. You drop that low 7 string down, and we had a bass player, and we were having troubles in the studios because it was just mud. You got to sift through all of that.
Steps on each other. Yeah.
You get all phasing issues and all kinds of
So,
shit.
I don't, like I said, I don't want to go too deep into
Okay,
this.
you're right. You're right.
But Patrick, I need to know,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that with the backing tracks and all that shit?
Depends on the band 100%. There's no one size fits all. I have seen bands with backing tracks kick my ass. I've seen bands with no backing tracks suck ass. So it's band dependent. That being said, I don't want to feel like I'm seeing a karaoke show when I go see an artist.
Right.
If you're going to have loops on the backing track, if there's some pre-recorded choir, atmospheric, sounds, all the more power to you. It has to be right for that particular band.
Right. I think, and if you're using them because you lack the skill to do it live, that's a problem too. It's like, why
Absolutely.
don't put it in, don't
You
include it.
Your music, if we see Sabaton and they have some orchestral sections happening, we already know the guys are playing and they're badass, so that little icing is fine. It's when a band comes out and it's like, is that dude's guitar plugged in? Then it starts to suck.
Yeah. Well, and I always thought too, because like bands like Rammstein and they got to be coordinated, because if they don't hit their mark, somebody goes up in flames. So in that sense, you kind of need some automation going on there.
But you can tell that he's singing. You can tell that
Yes.
those are real vocals.
Yes.
You see Rammstein. Yeah.
Facts. Facts. All right, gentlemen. Let's say we get into the Fate Destroyed.
Nobody knows my name, it's okay because the storm is changing. Roll my eyes to the sky, lift my hands off the ground because this rise is so amazing. Take a breath, take a step, only the fire can tame me. Life is meant to regret, don't need your hand to save me. Yeah. I'm fading out. You have never tasted hate like me. You have never known the truth like me. I just need one hand to set me free. I just need one life to set me free. I'm fading. I just can't feel. I'm hiding feet. There's nothing behind you. It's what you feel. These hopes are real, and you're not in pain like I do.
All right. What do we think so far?
It pulled me in right away. Right away, her vocal pulled me in. It was affected, but it wasn't goofy, auto-tune, weird vocal. So automatically, there's definitely, what is this? I want to see what's going on. So great start to everything for sure.
I agree. I agree.
She's got a little bit of a style to her, doesn't she?
It's
I
a
know what I
little
mean.
bit in this moment. It's a little bit that I know she probably hears that all the time. That's not a bad comparison. That's a band that's successful that people like. So it's okay to compare her to something that's good.
Oh.
Yes, because they
Well-
could go. I could see them doing shows together. Like they fit in that. So that's I don't think that's a knock at all.
Patrick, what do you think about the sex sells thing? I mean, you know,
Let me be fully honest. I'm a sucker for badass females. I play with Lita Ford. You know, I have my fiance in my original band. Of course, chicks are badass. We knew this before the internet. Some of us who are older than 30, and I have no problem with it as long as the girl can deliver. You know, if a guy singer got out there and flexed his muscles and showed you how MMA tough he was, you wouldn't give a fuck. You want to know what he sings like. And for girls, it's the same standard, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Men and women should be at the same standard. So a girl can't just come out and be sexy. She has to also sing badass and pull you in. It sounds like this girl so far in the song has already done that.
Yes,
Wow,
100%. I agree.
absolutely.
Me and Raf had
Wow.
mentioned that. I can't remember. We weren't talking about this band, but we had a similar conversation. And I had brought up, I said, I had told him in the stand-up comedy world, they'll do things like if you have a lot of tattoos, they'll tell you cover some of the tattoos up because people will stop listening. And I could see where that balance comes in. But for our thing with metal and what she's doing, I think like you said, there's a balance. You can look great, but if you don't back up with sound, you're fucked. She's
Exactly.
killing it.
Now, critically, the only thing I can say thus far into the song, my only criticism, and maybe it will go away, I don't like when girls especially cover or hide too much and they try to be too mysterious and we never get to see their face. Not because we're putting them at beauty standards, but because we want to feel the vocals and the lyrics and we want to see their face of what
Yeah.
they're talking about. So she's a little bit subdued visually thus far, but I have a feeling the video might deliver something. I hope she doesn't hide, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right, right.
Okay.
And I
Well,
also
but
noticed, do you feel so far, because they even mentioned in their bio that they're trying to add a bunch of genres with some hip hop and some or I can't remember, trap or something like that. And I definitely have a hip hop vibe to this. There's a little bit of that flow and the beat in the beginning gave it a kind of
absolutely, I think so. No.
and not a bad thing. It's just I do get that little sense there.
I didn't feel like it was trite or forced, so I guess that's a good thing.
Not
I'm
at all.
sensitive to styles at times. I feel like if a certain band chases the carrot, as I call it, the invisible carrot, I start to get bored with that band. I'm not going to name the bands that do that, but we've all heard where a band decides that this is the popular sound and then they try to do it themselves. It's a fine line between chasing the carrot and not giving a fuck. So
Yeah.
far, it feels like they don't give a fuck.
I agree. Okay, moving on.
I keep reaching out, the words inside are suffocating. Drinking from
I feel like Speed Racer. This engine made for combustion, it'll turn to nothing to something. I see the crow fly, it's dead signs in the sky. Moving the earth from up, hit the ground, I react, back down, feeling changing my energy. Never I fall between heaven and earth, like the way in the dirt, I'm already dead to me. So my enemy cut them to pieces, put away demons and venomous creatures. Shoot for the head, send them up to the breaches. Power in me, put the house to the speed.
So I gotta say, man, my impression of this is Francesca. She's pretty fucking badass, dude. You got to admit, this chick has a little bit of extra spice on her end of the table. You know what I mean? The cool color difference between her hair, her tats, the way she does her makeup. She's got a style too. I'm not going to take away from her singing ability. She's got a really cool style.
Yeah.
I got to give her props. I ain't going to lie. You know what I mean? If we were hanging out together, I'd sleep with one eye open. I ain't going to lie. But it is what it is, man. She's fucking good at what she does, dude. I got to give her mad props. What do you think, Patrick?
I totally was into it. I liked that her vocal, once again, I'm going to say this if it keeps being like this in the song. I liked that I could hear her vocal and it wasn't overly covered with effects, overly transistor radio auto-tune. I liked that it felt real. And that's very important and will immediately make you sound different from so many other things. So I'm going to give a thumbs up to that. And I like that I could see her in the camera and that she was believing what she's saying, and it made me believe. And as simple as that sounds, that's hard to find that these days.
Oh, it is. Because
Absolutely.
like you said, everybody's trying to fit. So many creators are trying to fit into a box that they think is going to get them somewhere. And
Exactly. You lose yourself along the way when you do that. I
Yeah.
could name a lot of bands that do that, but why should I, talk shit?
no, there's no point. But, but because, well, and it just is. I can't blame somebody for wanting to be successful. But if you start compromising what makes your art, it becomes a problem. And I think people forget fans smell bullshit a mile away. And after a while,
Absolutely.
it starts reeking.
We can totally smell it and see it, everything. If we're real rock fans, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm not.
What do you think about the rap, guys? What do you think about the rapper?
I wanted to hate him. I'm going to be honest. I hate him. But I'm a huge Papa Roach fan, and Papa Roach raps over heavy stuff, and they do it great. And after I got into what that dude was doing, I felt Papa Roachish, and it made me accept it. It wasn't, it wasn't too cookie cutter for me.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot, because usually if something raps, I'm always like, ooh, Crazy Town, Limp Bizkit, no thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
Faith
There's
Destroyed, you just got a major fucking compliment from a major fucking rock star. You better be proud, dude.
You should, because
like you said, he had the scream, a lot of Jacoby-ness in there. Jacoby has so many different voices and dynamics. That's how you keep people interesting. You don't just sit there with the rap. You don't just sit there and scream. You don't just sit there with the monotone. You move it around. So
that's right. That's absolutely right. Those dynamics are so important, brother.
Yep.
And he didn't.
Cheers, bro.
It wasn't just a. I don't have a drink, or I cheers you, brothers. But it's not, and it wasn't just a rap crammed into a metal song.
No,
it felt like that song was written with that in mind in there. If it wasn't co-written with I'm sorry, what was his name? Jason Alessi, the guest artist. But his tone was there, the lyrics were great. The scream was phenomenal.
Hey, Patrick, let me ask you on the side note. Are you, I know this is a tricky question because of the circumstances with the band.
Is this an edit point?
It might be.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I say no. I say let's keep it real.
Are you a fan of Linkin Park at all? What were your thoughts about that band?
I'm gonna give my backstory, but I'm gonna make it about me. Linkin Park's first real tour was with Union Underground. We took them out as a favor, and they got booed many nights opening for my band, Union Underground.
Oh wow.
That being said, Chester was on our bus with the advanced copy of the CD. They recorded it at the same place we did with the same producer here in LA. And when I heard Linkin Park, I used to call them Backstreet Biscuit. I said it's as catchy as the Backstreet Boys, but with the Limp Bizkit thing. I said that's a multi-platinum band. I didn't care that people were booing them when they opened for us. And of course, the rest is history. I was a Linkin Park fan. Oh man, some of the guys in the band hated me because we look like Motley Crue and Pantera got in a fist fight. And I didn't let that affect me, but Chester was very tight with the whole band, as well as Rob, their drummer. So yes, I'm a Linkin Park fan. I own all their albums, and I was into them before they got anywhere when they were opening for my band.
Wow. What a story. You guys heard it here on Rocker Reactions. Fucking A, dude. Some of the cool shit that you guys are getting.
I'm so glad we're doing this show, man. This is so cool. Anyways.
No, I know.
All right.
Back to
moving
business.
forward.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
No love for the hardness, lightning striking in the darkness, bitch creeping out the coffin, rise again, I do it often.
They sell it for me, dude. I don't know, but
Yeah, I like
is
it. I'm
what
all
it
in.
is.
I'm all in. It's good.
I mean, it is what it is. In my opinion, I mean, we'll find out what Patrick's opinion is, but honestly, in my opinion, a lot of bands try to do what they're doing, but don't really hit the mark. And I think they're hitting the mark. So kind of cool.
I agree. I think they're doing it. I think it sounds like it comes from the heart. It's not overproduced. I would have to say my only criticism I feel is a really good one for them. I just wasn't into the Too Fast, Too Furious movies. Probably I'm too old. And I kept seeing that in the video. I don't care about fancy cars. I don't drive a fancy car. I've had the opportunity to, and I still won't. So if that's my only criticism, I think they're doing really good. So dump the Too Fast, Too Furious and show people on a stage what we're feeling off the song in the video. And I think it'll be right where it needs to be.
Do you prefer videos that are like performance?
I'm old
based?
school. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
When I saw Livewire on MTV at midnight when I was not even a teenager, or I saw Wasp, I Want to Be Somebody, or Cheap Trick or whatever, Judas Priest, it was on a soundstage, and I was like, wow, I want to see this in person. I understand that was a million years ago, but I still hold on to that. I still hold on to that. A band on a stage doing something. And that was my only criticism with these guys. I wish it was on a stage. I wish there was fans in front of them. Probably that'll be the next video for them.
And I've gone through in their YouTube. If you look through their previous videos, they do have some where they've done that, and they look great. They perform well. I agree. They could have, even if they wanted to keep the Too Fast theme going, they could have just imported some performance role into the video and just a little bit more live performance, because I know they did the one
or they
role.
could have made us laugh. If I would have been involved, I would have said, man, y'all, this is really cool. Now can we see the bass player or the lack of bass player? Maybe he pulls up in a gremlin or something really funny at the end to make us laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm a fucking knucklehead, so I'm a clown, so I would have come up with I'd have figured out how to clown everybody at the end. It could have said bass player on the license plate, and then some fucking Waldo dude, some fucking Urkel motherfucker
Bro.
shows. That would have been great.
Gremlin, half the people that are gonna watch this show are not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, then a Kia. Is it
Kia.
a Kia, Ralph?
There you
Which car?
Yeah, what generation?
Yeah.
What generation are we dealing with right now?
The one from the Wayne's World movie, the one with the fish.
Yes.
Looking, yeah, the Pacer.
Yes, those things
That
are
one.
crazy. Yes, absolutely. But unfortunately, a lot of these younger people don't know what the hell we're talking about. But
Yeah.
dude, that was a great point. Honestly, I agree with you. But I do think these guys are doing cool stuff. I think they're trying to get cinematic with this one.
Yep,
And,
I get it.
They're trying to involve other genres of music. So you know what I mean? They're trying to they're working it. And I respect that, because I understand that this is a tough business nowadays. For real quick, before we go off, let's talk about the business real quick. How do you see it going from here on out? What are your thoughts?
Boy, if any of us knew the answer to that question, we'd have a lot of money in our bank account.
Well, I mean, you've been very successful in the music business, so I'm wondering what your thoughts about the future of the music business is.
Oh boy, it's funny. Social media seems to lead the path as to what's coming out. Social media is like the new people handing out demos outside the venue. I don't know for sure. I wish I really knew. One thing that is cool is it's a level playing field. There's not an A&R department formulating the bands anymore. But you know,
You think that's a good thing?
I think so. I think
Okay.
that doing the cookie cutter assembly line is what killed the 80s. Hell, I think it killed some of the 90s. So I think if something emerges that's grassroots, but with the internet, there's bands out there like that. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You
So,
heard it here, guys. Information from one of the pros that has been on the road for many years and is working till this day. Thank you, Patrick, for doing this with us. You guys, we're gonna do this show on a regular basis, thanks to Patrick. He's gonna be our main host. Check out his band, Heaven Below, and check out his work with Lita Ford. Check out the work he's done with the Union Underground. I mean, there's no reason not to. This
Go check
man
out his
is an
Instagram because
amazing
he's
musician.
gorgeous.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Patrick is still a leader in our community. So that's the important thing. He's a working musician and he's done some great things. So much respect to you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for-
Big props. You're watching Rocker Reactions. My name is Ralph Busso.
My name is Cody Walker. Thank you for watching. Patrick, thank you for coming on and doing this show with us. Can't wait until the next band. If you guys have ideas for bands you think deserve it, let us know in the comments. We're going to be making a list because we might be checking it twice. I don't know. I may feel extra Santa Claus sometimes. Until next time, mad love, everybody. Peace.
peace.